First time watcher, please like, comment, subscribe, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you, and please like and comment on this video. This is the recap of the review for Big Brother 18, episode 17. This is the Veto episode. Now, it starts off with Frank and Bridgette. Of course, they're officially on the block, and they're over it because they're saying how I trusted James. I can't believe he did this. What are we gonna do now? I don't care. You two are threats. You actually can win competitions. You guys, well, Frank has a great social game. Bridgette can win competitions. Frank can as well, but Bridgette actually seems better at it. And so, it's this whole thing of you two are actually a power couple without it actually being a couple, like a power duo. So it was a great move for James to do it. It was a big move. I definitely respect James for doing it. But let's not pretend that James probably wouldn't have done it if he didn't have the full support of the house behind him. Now, Zakia, Devon, Paul, and Nicole are celebrating in the pantry room because they're like, this is perfect, this is great, this is the best case scenario for them. Now, Frank wants to talk to James to figure out why did James actually go and do it in the first place. James is just saying how you two are strong competitors. You also seem to be a part of the drama in the house, like all of the drama, and he's right. But Frank tries to flip the narrative and say, oh, well, it's actually Devon. Of course, Frank isn't wrong in some cases and situations, but it's normally him that's really intertwined in all of it. Devon is great at flipping the vote. I will give her that. She is definitely a threat. I liked her in her season, even though she wasn't on there for that long. I love the fact that she switched it up, and now they need to watch out because she may maneuver herself into a really powerful position. Just mark my words. Just watch out. She's someone that you get out within the next couple of weeks because you might not be able to get her out soon because she's always close to winning competitions. She's always close. So watch out for her, even though that's one of my favorites in the house. Now it's time for the and of course when he's bringing up Devon's name, what's his name? James is over it because he's like, that's my girl. What are you talking about? Now it's time to pick people to play in the Veto competition. And who gets picked? Devon, Michelle, and Nicole. So Frank and Bridgette are just like, how the hell did this possibly happen to us? And Devon was just eating it up because it was actually Bridgette that picked Devon's name out of the box. And she's just like, oh, damn it, man, damn it. And she knew that Bridgette was over it. Now, this competition was made for Michelle because it gives off 1970s, 1980s, combined with, with techno / 2016 dubstep, club music / rainbows and sunshine, and it's OTEP. It's the OTEP competition. Now the thing is, the OTEP is this. Well, in this iteration, OTEP is actually a big frog. That's a DJ, and the goal is you have to listen to his rhymes and what he's saying and decipher it to determine what competitions you're playing. I mean, what competitions he's talking about, and then look for the corresponding emblem that has the competition name on it. And of course, they have to go up and down the slide, and there's also the water area. Along with the water area, there's the area where it's just full of gunk and muck, so that it's hard for them to go and try to find the names and actually see them. And long story very short, Michelle wins. It dwindles down to Michelle and Bridgette, and Michelle wins. She pulls through. Big Meech wins, and everyone's excited for. Everyone's excited for it. They were dancing the whole time because they actually got to hear music, and the music was good. The set was really cool. It was colorful. It felt like you were in acid in a nightclub where almost everyone's doing acid, but it's kind of okay and accepted. And everyone was so excited when Michelle won, because this was like, again, this is another situation where the house is really wants one of them out. So the fact that Michelle won, it was like, beach! Beach! Now, with Michelle winning, here's the issue. Frank goes and he wants to talk to Michelle privately. The bad thing about that is that the other house guests realize that, wait a minute, why is Frank talking to Michelle? You know, this is supposed to be a one-done deal. We're supposed to be good. We're not supposed to be worrying about Lord if someone's trying to flip on us. And Paul notices it, and he starts to get really mad. He gets borderline enraged. He gets very irritated. I mean, Paul is trying to calm him down. Devon was like, yo, you want to come up here to the HOH room? No, I don't want to go up there. Zacchaeus is like, okay, what's up? And everyone was trying to go and intervene in Frank's conversation with Michelle, because Michelle has wanted to work with Frank the whole time. Remember, Michelle is a Big Brother geek. That's why she loves working with Devon, because Devon is a returnee. So she just loves that. And so, and Nicole was already paired up, so that's why that didn't work out. But Michelle doesn't like Bridgette for multiple reasons, but mainly because Frank chose Bridgette technically over her, and so now she holds a little grudge. It's very petty, but at least she was honest about it. And she's thinking, maybe if I do keep Frank, I could work with him going forward, but the whole house would go after me, so I'm not going to go and do that. But I would like getting Bridgette out. Gives Frank the bright idea to, this was one of actually the biggest moves of the season. She convinces Frank, well, she puts the seed in his head that he needs to start going around and campaigning. By doing that, that'll let her know that he's serious and that she'll go and possibly use the veto on him. That was actually his demise, because if you watch Big Brother After Dark, you realize that Frank doing that, it pissed people off, because he tried to make it seem like he wasn't going to do it, that him and Bridgette were buddy-buddy, and yet he's going and stabbing her in the back. That pissed a lot of people off. And also, like I said, Frank at one point was telling people, hey, I'm trying to go and tell this girl that I need her to use the veto on me, because at the end of the day, I want to stay in this house. He flat out basically said that. And they were just like, he was just like, I just need 5 minutes. Can you give me 5 minutes? It's like, oh, okay. Zacchaeus leaves, all the rest of them leave. They're all irritated because they want Frank out. They don't want her to her mind to be polluted. And also yeah, because like I said, Frank was trying to use his salesman skills on Michelle, but Michelle didn't fall for it. Thankfully, Michelle didn't fall for it. She partially almost fell for it. Let's be real. Let's be real about it. Like I said, everyone is irritated. They're just like, if this chick flips, if Frank does his usual stuff, and because James, Devon were all in there at one point trying to check up on Frank, and Paul decides he's like, screw it, screw what do you call it? Screw Corey and Nicole having a little makeout session. I need to vent. I'm borderline calling a house meeting. Zacchaeus is just like, Lord Jesus, Paul, what are you doing? What are you doing? Trying to look at Devon like, is this cool? Is this a part of the plan? What's going on? And so Devon was probably like, girl, don't say anything. I want to show. I want to show. Because that's what Devon wanted. She wanted to see the foolery, you know, come out. So Paul essentially told Frank, you know, you're campaigning. You're campaigning, and here's my issue with you campaigning, because I've been on the block for 3 weeks, and you're trying to pretend like you're not campaigning even though you are campaigning. And by you campaigning, you're pretty much putting me up. You're putting me up because if you come down, someone has to come up. You know, the logic overall made sense. Paul was upset, so he was kind of jumping the gun with his synopsis, but I understood where he was coming from, because Paul knows that the goal is to get Frank out. So without him saying that, that's what he was really getting at. It's like, you're going out anyway, so why are you trying to flip the votes? Why are you trying to rock the boat? Why are you trying to make things harder for the rest of us when all of the rest of us just want to have some peace of mind and get you out of here? And so Frank was just like, I don't understand what your problem is. And it was just like, my problem is you. That's it. It's like, I'm on the block though. So I don't care. Don't try to flip it all that sympathy mess. I don't care. And Michelle was just saying how, Bridgette, she's actually the one that I have the issue with. It's not even Frank, but if everyone wants Frank out, then let that be the case. James is saying that we need to call a house meeting. So everyone, for the first time in a while, we're all in the HOH room. And Paul, once the house meeting got started, Paul almost looked like he was lost for words. Almost, because this is Paul. So we know that wasn't the case. And so Paul was just like, look, I'm just going to be honest. I have the issue with you campaigning because the house wants you out. I want you out. No one else is really going to fight for you except for Bridgette, and she's on the block too, so it's not like it matters. Sorry, Bridgette. We don't even really care about you. It's Frank. Frank, you're the one that needs to go. And Frank's just like, look, what do I need to do? It's just like, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. It's just like, oh, so is that how you guys really feel if we're being honest? Then Paulie, the two Pauls, Paulie pipes in and says, I have to be honest. You were looking like a fool campaigning, and that's why I just wanted to come up to you and say, it looks crazy for you to campaign because no one really wants you here. No one really wants you around. So what's the point of you doing it? I was just going to come up to you at one point and say, bro, it's not in the cards. We don't see it for you. So stop doing it. And it's like, and Frank was like, I respect you, and I respect Paul, and I respect Davon, because you guys already know that, because Frank, oh my god, that's why I said this season is crazy. They are so real, it hurts. They are so real and honest, it hurts. Frank actually said, that I wanted to get off of the block and put up Davon so that she could leave the house. And Davon's just like, yeah, I already knew this. That's what I'm saying. This season is so weird because everyone's just so honest for the most part. It's like, how are you guys actually working together when you just admit that you want each other out? What? Oh. And so it's just like, I respect Davon too because she let it be known that she, isn't rock with me in the house. It's better than what the rest of you guys are doing. And so they're just like, okay, does anyone want to talk? No one wants to talk. So Bridgette figures, it's about time that I try to go and at least, put my heart out on my sleeve and talk to Michelle and see where her head is at. Because, I just don't know. And here's how it goes. Michelle's over it. Michelle gives 2 Fs. She doesn't care. Bridgette's just like, why are you being so mean to me? Why do you like me? It's just like, I'm petty. I'm petty, Bridgette. And here's the thing. It's not like we ever did much to try and get to know each other. So I don't have a problem keeping it that way. Because you're leaving the house at one point or the other. So it's fine with me. Also, you got in league with Frank when I wanted to get in league with Frank. And because of that, now I lost my opportunity. So I'm a little vexed about that as well. And so that's the main reasons why I don't like you, and I believe that you're fake, you're phony, you pretend to be all nice and sweet, but then we see this whole other side of you that comes out of nowhere, and we're all just trying to figure out, wait a minute, what is with this girl? Because she's all nice and sweet and happy, and then she's just like, that bitch. As soon as people turn their backs. And Bridgette says, I only can be myself around Frank. So that's why I may come off as closed off and all of that around the others. It's like, okay, that's great, but this is a game. You played the game wrong. Get over it. It's like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. And I appreciated Michelle for staying her ground because I know people like Bridgette where they pretend to be all nice and sweet and borderline cry at the dime of a hat. As soon as they turn their backs, they're like, you good for nothing, bleepity bleep. When I see you in the streets, I'll see you. So that's why I had no love for Bridgette. Now it's time for the veto ceremony. And, both of them get to talk. They pretty much throw in the towel. Both Bridgette and Frank are just like, I appreciate you just considering us in general. Not even me, but us in general. Understand that you have to do what you have to do. And Michelle goes and says, Frank, no, I respect you, James, because you put up 2 strong competitors. That was a big game move. I respect you, Frank, because I actually wanted to work with you and possibly go far in this game with you. Again, I'm thinking, why the hell is everyone being so honest in this damn house? Everyone is just saying exactly how they feel. I'm like, I kind of love it, though. I kind of love it. And then she said nothing about Bridgette. Bridgette had this look up. And of course she didn't use the veto. Frank is upset. Bridgette's upset. Davon is happier than the clam. And that's it. So please like, comment, subscribe. Come back tomorrow because the live vote and eviction. I'm excited. This is so good. So excited.